You're home alone. The lights are off in the next room. You didn't hear anything. You didn't see anything. And yet the back of your neck goes cold, and you turn around anyway. Nobody is there, but your body already reacted like someone was. Why? The easy answer is that you're just jumpy. That's not the real answer. The real answer is far stranger, and it reaches back further than your house, further than your city, further than anything you'd call civilization. It reaches back to a version of you that never got to relax. Picture that version now. Not a person exactly, but your ancestor tens of thousands of years ago, crouched at the edge of a firelit clearing. The flames are small. The dark past them is total. Somewhere out there, something with a heartbeat is deciding whether tonight is the night it gets close enough to matter. Your ancestor doesn't know if anything is actually out there. That's the point. Not knowing was the dangerous part. Because here's the asymmetry nobody tells you about. If your ancestor heard a rustle in the grass and assumed it was just wind, and it was actually a predator, that mistake killed them. But if they heard the same rustle, assumed it was a predator, and it turned out to be wind, they just wasted a few seconds of adrenaline. One mistake is fatal. The other is free. So evolution did the math for you. It built a brain that would rather be embarrassed 1,000 times than dead once. Researchers have a name for this. Cognitive scientist Justin Barrett, who spent years studying how belief and perception form in the human mind, called it the hyperactive agency detection device. It's the part of your mind that assumes something with intention, something watching, something deciding, is behind a sound or a shadow, even when there's nothing there at all. Notice the word hyperactive. Not accurate, hyperactive. It's not trying to be right. It's trying to be safe. And those are not the same goal. Here's where it gets strange, though. This isn't just about jumping at loud noises. Hadi didn't only make your ancestors flinch at movement in the grass. It made them feel presence. A sense that something with eyes was nearby, even in total silence, even in total stillness. Because a predator that's actually hunting doesn't make noise. The ones that got your ancestors killed were the quiet ones, the successful ones, which means the feeling of being watched, the actual gut-level sense of it, may be one of the oldest alarm systems your body has. Older than language. Older than fire, maybe. You didn't inherit a fear of the dark. You inherited a fear of not knowing what's in it. So how does your brain generate a feeling like that from nothing? This is where neuroscientist Michael Graziano's work becomes useful. Graziano at Princeton developed what's called the attention schema theory. In simple terms, your brain doesn't just track what you're paying attention to, it also builds a rough, constant model of what other things around you might be paying attention to, including whether something is paying attention to you. That model runs quietly in the background all the time. Most of the day, it has almost nothing to work with, so it stays low and you don't notice it. But put yourself in a dark room, remove your other senses, take away the visual confirmation your eyes usually give you, and that background model doesn't shut off. It has less information to correct it, so it starts filling gaps. And what it fills them with, more often than not, is a sense of being observed. You're not imagining a monster. You're running an ancient prediction model with the lights turned off. Here's the twist. You'd expect this feeling to fade as humans built walls, then cities, then security systems and porch lights. It hasn't. If anything, certain environments seem to trigger it almost on purpose. Environmental psychologist Colin Ellard has spent years studying how physical spaces affect fear and threat perception in the human nervous system. His research on architecture and open or enclosed spaces found something counterintuitive. Spaces with too many blind corners. Spaces with poor sightlines. Spaces where you can't fully see what's around you consistently spike people's stress responses. Not because anything is actually there, because your ancestor's brain, the one still quietly running inside yours, cannot verify that nothing is there. An empty room with the door slightly open behind you does this perfectly. You can't see what's through that gap. Your ancient wiring doesn't care that it's probably just a hallway. It flags the unknown as a category, not a specific threat. An unknown to that part of your brain has always meant possible danger. Think about the last time you stood in a parking garage alone at night. The concrete pillars breaking your line of sight every few feet. The way you angle your body just slightly so nothing can come at you from behind. Nobody taught you to do that. You didn't decide to do it. Something older than your decisions did it for you. And this is the part that should genuinely unsettle you a little. This system doesn't need real danger to activate, it only needs the possibility of one. Which means, in a way, you have spent your entire life being quietly managed by a threat detector calibrated for a world that mostly doesn't exist anymore. You don't live near lions. Most people reading this have never once encountered a predator that actually wanted to eat them. And still, alone in your own home, in a house with locked doors and working lights, some part of you checks the dark corner of the room before you can even finish the thought that you're being irrational. That's not weakness. That's 20,000 generations of caution compressed into one flinch. Here's the modern mirror, the part that brings this back to your actual life. You feel this same watched sensation in places that have nothing to do with physical danger at all. Scroll through your phone alone at night and feel a flicker of self-consciousness, even though no one is looking at your screen. Walk into a room where conversation stops right as you enter. Post something online and feel that low hum of exposure before a single person has replied. That's the same system. HADD doesn't distinguish between a predator in the brush and a stranger's opinion online. To your ancestral wiring, being watched by an unknown intention is being watched by an unknown intention. The context changed completely. The alarm didn't update, which raises an uncomfortable question. How many of your decisions today, the outfit you didn't wear, the message you didn't send, the risk you didn't take, were quietly vetoed by a system built to keep a small group of humans alive on an open plane, not to help you thrive in a world of infinite strangers and open comment sections? You don't need saber-toothed cats to feel hunted anymore. Modern life invented smaller, quieter versions of the same threat, and your body can't tell the difference. So the next time you're alone in a dim room, and you feel that prickle on your neck, that certainty that something is just behind you even though you know better, don't brush it off as irrational. It isn't. It's a message, arriving late from someone who has been trying to protect you since before there were words for fear. You're home alone. The lights are off in the next room. Nothing moved, nothing made a sound. And still, some ancient part of you refuses to look away from the dark because for almost all of human history, the ones who looked away were the ones who didn't make it to tell the story.